Hi, welcome. My name is Angelina and this is my end of the month review. Basically, all of the comebacks and debuts from the month of November that you guys have been dying for me to talk about. Now every once in a while I'll do a one-off review, a specific dedicated video for certain comebacks, but usually I like to keep it all for the end of the month. And you guys seem to anticipate it every single month, and it really warms my heart that someone actually is like waiting at the first of every single month for my video to come out and they're like, where is it? So for the month of November, I kind of felt like a lot of the songs were a little bit softer, just an overall softer November vibe. You can let me know what you thought about that in the comments down below. But for me, November wasn't it. We had a really good month in October. For whatever reason, I just wasn't really vibing with the most songs this month. But alas, let me explain to you my tier ranking system for those who are new here. If you've been here before and you know the drill, you can of course scroll through the time bar of this video and pick wherever you would like to start, because I've separated this video into super fancy segments. Will it mess with my watch time? Absolutely, but you can make it up to me by liking, commenting, and sharing this video with friends you don't have. You can also subscribe and hit that bell to be notified, and consider joining my channel members, where you can get a cute Kevin emoji next to your name, sneak peeks, see videos earlier than others, and even see exclusive member-only videos for certain levels. So the category at the top is of course Song of the Year, which I have been considering renaming to Big Booty Bop. And yes, that is directly plagiarized from my friend Kpop Shake. But if she's okay with it and you guys like that name, maybe we can consider changing the name. I just feel like Big Booty Bop sounds a lot more fun than Song of the Year, but that's just me. These are obviously songs that I personally have fallen in love with that made it onto my playlist, which is a little bit hard to get into given how picky I am. Song of the Year definitely needs longevity because I tend to listen to the same 5 to 10 songs every single day for long periods of time. The category right below is called Cup of Milk, also known as Song of the Week. These are songs that I also really liked, ended up downloading, but the shelf life ended up being maybe not the best. Or they could also be songs that just really fit specific moods, so maybe I will reach for them under certain contexts. The third tier we have is Second Gen Vibes. This is kind of the perfect middle tier, I guess, though I'm thinking of adding another tier for songs that we feel neutral about, because Second Gen Vibes is still highly regarded. They're still really good songs. They may actually have Second Gen Vibes, or maybe they're in this category just because we regard them highly but just didn't have that extra push to download onto our playlist. It's also very reflective of how in Second Gen you kind of just liked everything, you know? These days I feel like people are a lot more loyal. Not that people weren't loyal in Second Gen. What am I talking about? I was a hardcore baby. That was Gen 2.5 though. I'm digressing. Basically, songs that you would enjoy if they popped up randomly, you would definitely listen to them. You wouldn't skip them. But below this, of course, we have everyone's favorite tier, and that is YG's Dungeon. These are songs that either could use a little bit of work, you know, could have spent a little bit more time simmering in YG's Dungeon, or songs that maybe we just didn't pay enough attention to. And then the last tier is Not My Cup of Tea, which is pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't mean that these songs are bad. These might just be songs that are objectively good, but I just wouldn't personally reach for, I don't really vibe with, or actually songs that sound bad. So with that super long intro out of the way, let us start this review. So first up, we have Secret Number and their comeback with Got That Boom. So right off the bat, I definitely think that Secret Number have done a good job at distinguishing themselves within this kind of fourth generation of K-pop, or generation 3.5, but exclusively with their styling. Their styling is definitely out there, very reminiscent of Second Gen. It's just so busy, so in your face. The music video, however, definitely gives me FX's Electric Shock vibes. Not that all SM music videos don't look the same, but I feel like FX Electric Shock had its very own super specific vibe. So when the song starts, I definitely appreciated their vocals, but I definitely think it's within the pre-chorus where the magic happens. However, when I first heard the chorus, I felt like it felt a little bit flat, so I wasn't like the biggest fan of this song, but I always review each and every song right before I start filming to see if maybe I changed my mind, maybe I feel a little bit differently, and I do for this song. I definitely think the chorus just fits perfectly. It's just a vibe. You know, you have these very strong second gen retro vibes. So frankly, originally it was in second gen vibes category, but I think I'm gonna bump it up to Cup of Milk because I do have the intention of downloading it and see how I feel about it a little bit further. But for now, definitely Cup of Milk. There's actually this one part in the song where I thought it was very reminiscent of Rose of Blackpink, and I went to see which member it was, and it was Denise. So I'm gonna play the part and you can let me know. Like, I just thought like the vibes of the voice was very similar. You can let me know what you think about that. But yeah, the more and more I listen to this song, the more it kind of ignites something within me. It just brings you to like a whole other universe. Next up, we have MONSTA X and their comeback with Love KILLA. I don't know MONSTA X all that well, though I think I can name a few members. Obviously, one of the killing points is at the beginning when one of the members says, "Oh, I'm sorry, did I make you anxious?" I was just so cocky and really intriguing to me, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever they have to show me. So I do remember Fantasia not the most. I remember thinking it was really good though. Aside from the cowboy atrocities, Love KILLA to me is definitely the type of song that I think I would have loved in like 2012 to 2015. Like, sounds very much like a Gen 2.5 song. That was the type of song that I vibed with the most. And it's not that I don't like that type of sound anymore, I just feel like my taste has evolved a little bit. And that's not to say that this song sounds bad, I actually really enjoyed it. And as a kind of introduction to MONSTA X, I think it was a good option, if that makes sense, because there's a level of intensity, but it's not too intense where it kind of puts you off, or at least me personally. So I feel like as an introduction, even though I knew Fantasia, it doesn't matter. For the sake of continuity, let's pretend that I don't. As an introduction, I thought it was a really great song. So yes, I think I would have to put this song in second gen vibes category. And for the music video, I just have to say, we all know, for whatever reason, I'm a sucker for a good color story. And this music video definitely feels very red to me, and I appreciated that. Now, I know that I cannot possibly make this video and exclude Treasure for the third month in a row. The thing is, I do have friends who love Treasure, so I end up keeping up with their comebacks no matter what. But then for whatever reason, it's like a huge oversight in my end of month reviews, and then they're not there. People are mad, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to. Like, I did pay attention to their comeback. But also, they're just doing a lot, to be honest with you, which I feel like is very typical for YG debuts. They go like super hard. They release so many songs right at the beginning, right at their debuts, before they inevitably end up in YG's Dungeon, which is where this song is going. Honestly, so far, all of Treasure's title tracks have gone into YG's Dungeon, even the ones I haven't really reviewed. To me, this new YG sound is very SM-like in nature, and it's just not personally the direction that I like. It's just really interesting because for a lot of these songs, I vibe with them until the chorus, and then usually there's just something with the chorus that throws me off where I'm like, ugh, it could use a little work for me personally. I do, however, really love the whispering element and the whole "let me treasure you." I thought was a really clever play on words with their group name. But it's just really intriguing to me how this kind of new YG sound is very much bordering on SM territory, even the music video. So I mentioned earlier that all SM music videos look the same. Don't at me. I will show you 5 SM music videos in a row right now that look exactly the same, including Treasure's. It's like they stole SM's Dungeon on top of everything. I would sue, but that's not my circus. Obviously, I'm joking. I just think SM tend to have this futuristic looking white backgrounds. Not that G-Dragon didn't do that in 2009 with Heartbreaker, but you know what I mean. For me, I think the song has a lot of potential, but for now, I'm going to put it in YG's Dungeon. Now we have MAMAMOO's comeback with Ya. And I definitely love a lot of aspects of this song, notably the styling. Every time I saw like a thumbnail for one of their stages, I was like, that styling is just stunning. Except for whatever Star Wars thing we have going on here, but we don't need to mention that. Also, not gonna lie, I love the unibrow, don't at me. However, much like Treasure's, I'm gonna have to put this in YG's Dungeon as well. It's just another song where it kind of builds up to a chorus that I don't particularly vibe with. I feel like the chorus really needed to give that extra something, and I'm not sure what that extra something is. But for me personally, again, had a lot of potential, really was excited for this type of concept, for the styling, of course, so stunning. Their voices, of course, as always, very beautiful. Again, love their stage presence, but for me, this song would have to go into YG's Dungeon. Moving on to GFRIEND and their song MAGO. This song was honestly really adorable, and I have very fond memories of their song Fever, which I think, at least style-wise, was quite reminiscent of the early 2000s, while this song went a little bit further, very much 70s vibes. I loved the filters, I loved the way the music video was filmed, loved the retro vibes, obviously. And the chorus is actually quite magical, so I'm gonna have to give this song 2nd gen vibes. I also fixed the thumbnail for this music video on my video called Fixing Bad K-Pop Thumbnails, which you can check after you're done watching this video. So now we're gonna talk about KDA for the first time ever. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I have heard of KDA. I have not gone through this world not knowing who KDA were, but I had no idea they were this big. Like, I checked the views on one of their music videos and I was like, damn, how have I literally never heard this song before in my life? I must be living under some type of rock. But then I heard more and I understand now, and I'm so sorry for judging. I still don't know how I feel about the whole Avatar thing. I think watching them dance is really because my brain just doesn't really understand the extent of the moves they're doing. But I did watch the dance practice video, and I really do like the song, I have to admit. And I did download it for a while. You know, we had a really fun time. So it goes into it goes into cup of milk category. My favorite parts are definitely Soyeon and Mion's parts. I love her part at the beginning, and then of course the honey vocals. So yeah, it definitely goes into cup of milk category. Now we have AB6 and their song Salute. Please let me know if anyone else has the very strong urge to call them AB6.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
This song is actually pretty majestic. I was very intrigued right off the beginning because of their outfits, okay? It gave me very strong Janice vibes. I've been on some type of Janice kick recently. Or 21 Crush. Moving on. But they're also 4 members, which I thought was weird. It really stood out to me that they were 4 members because I don't think you really see 4-member boy groups. You can name a bunch of girl groups, but I don't know why you don't see 4-member boy groups. Can you name any that are like organically 4 members and not 4 members because of some type of scandal? Just putting that out there. So this is definitely a song that has Gen 2.5 vibes. I feel like that time period is very distinguishable. You know, we have BAP, BTS, Boyfriend, Janice. What year did that come out? It doesn't matter. It's Gen 2.5 in my heart, no matter what facts say. And again, it has that certain amount of intensity like Love KILLA without being overwhelming, without going too far with that intensity for me personally. This song does a really amazing job at building up to the chorus. I felt like I was at the edge of my seat, like, okay, what are they going to bring us today? And then that beat drop was unexpected. Maybe not super unexpected given the drums at the beginning, but it was definitely something that I was not anticipating.
Salute.
But it was definitely super interesting, and I appreciate the originality. I feel like we don't hear beat drops like that. Like, to me, it just felt very original. So I'm going to give it 2nd gen vibes. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a debut from BXK and their song Fly High. I was looking through like lists of comebacks and debuts for the month of November because I didn't want to leave anyone out, but then like I had like a 7-page script and I'm like, yeah, sorry, but I'm a one-man show and I have to edit all of this on my own, so some people will inevitably be left out. But I did want to give groups that I've never heard of a chance, or just bring something new to the table, you know what I mean? And BXK are seemingly from a really small company, so I wanted to check them out. And honestly, I'm really glad that I did because this song is like the epitome of cute. This song gives me the fluffiest, the cutest 2nd gen vibes. So of course it goes into 2nd gen vibes category. But the thing is, I feel like this is the closest thing we get to like a proper cute concept for boy groups. I feel like when boy groups do what they deem a cute concept, it's not really that cute anymore. Like, it's not the cute concept that I envision. It's kind of like a fun concept and they're a little bit cute, but it's not like cute. You know, like, you have to admit it doesn't go to like boyfriend territory or Here I Am by Zia territory. Those are kind of super rare if they're even done at all. I think we could argue that Blue Hour is a little bit more on the cuter side. I feel like cute concepts for boy groups have died. But this is definitely close. Like, we kind of almost get there and I really appreciated it. Definitely recommend you check out the song. Let us move on to Woo-ah or Woo-ah and their comeback with Bad Girl. At first I was like, where do I put this song? Because I find it a little bit polarizing. It has elements where I'm like, yeah, this sounds good. And then elements where I'm like, we could do without that. And for that reason, I think I'm going to have to put it in YG's Dungeon. Because yes, the vocals are really nice, I have to admit. But there are some chanting parts that I think don't fit, especially near the end. There's kind of like, I think it's the bridge where they're doing this kind of creepy chanting, and I'm all about creepy chanting, but I don't think it really fits the song. So there are a few things that I would change, but overall I think it has a lot of potential. And there are some details that I really liked. I loved the cats in the music video. And I also really loved how the basketball net was chains with diamonds. It stood out to me. Also, of course, the super chaotic editing. I could never. Okay, now we need to talk about TAEMIN and his song for Idea. I really struggled with where to put this song because, yes, it does have second gen vibes. Like, I don't think it sounds bad, but it's definitely not a song that I would reach for. And so it's like, is it not my cup of tea or is it second gen vibes? I'm gonna have to go ahead and put this in second gen vibes category. I especially love the killing me part. I think it's the killing part. That was supposed to be a joke and I kind of gave up halfway. And of course, the performance value of his songs. How could I not? Let's move on to Natty and her comeback with Teddy Bear, which, here's the thing, I'm usually like a sucker for a cute concept, but again, I would argue that like the typical cute concepts in K-pop have died. Like, have you ever noticed that the cute concepts that we see are usually more in line with Girl Crush? It's just an observation. I've seen a lot of people kind of shit on 4th gen and how it's all the same. And I'm like, I'm gonna look into that. And I came to the conclusion that it's not technically that they're all the same. It's just that they're all subgroups of Girl Crush these days, whereas before they were their own separate categories. That's what I came up with. If you want a whole 30-minute video about that, please let me know. So yes, it's cute, it's quirky, but it's personally not my cup of tea, not really something that I would personally reach out for. I do not doubt that there are a lot of Black Mamba aunties on this channel, but I'm sorry, I'm not one of them. I really loved Black Mamba. I still do. I thought it was really catchy and dreamy and dark all at the same time. However, that being said, I do understand why some people think it's underwhelming. You know, the way SM built it up, and I have a theory about this, I feel like it was a little bit overhyped, I have to admit. But I feel like SM overhyped it to distract from a certain scandal. So no, I don't think aespa was created out of thin air to distract from a scandal, but I think the announcement of the group was a little bit premature because it felt like there was a lot of time between when they were announced and then when they actually debuted. Whereas if you check out NCT or Red Velvet, you'll see they were announced and then a week later they debuted. So there was definitely a lot of time for aespa to simmer, for people to get their own opinions of what it should sound like and all of that jazz. So given all of that hype, I understand if you felt a little bit underwhelmed, but just looking at it as a song from a group, I loved it, and I'm surprised because I don't particularly vibe with SM sounds. But overall, I liked it. Cup of Milk category, downloaded it, listened to it for a while. I still love the song. I love the plop down move. We have this in 21's I'm the Best. We have this in Girls' Generation. The Boys. It's just a fun move. And you can also check out my videos that I've made on aespa after you're done watching this video. But yes, it gets Cup of Milk. we absolutely need to talk about BTS and their song Life Goes On. Because for whatever reason, because I did not make a specific video about this, like why Life Goes On is familiar. People seem to think that I hate BTS all of a sudden. And people are making like ridiculous claims like, you never talk about BTS's songs, you must really hate them. And it's like, I reviewed Dynamite, I reviewed Black Swan, I reviewed On. Like, what do you mean? You miss one song and suddenly you're an anti, and that's dangerous in this here world of K-pop. I was genuinely scared. I'm like, am I actually going to get like in trouble for having not said anything for the first time? I had quite the fright, but here we are now. No, but the truth is, it just came out on a bad day, on a bad week. And I get overwhelmed with life sometimes, and that's okay. If I don't review a specific song, I'll have you know, I didn't even get the chance to review AT's Thanks and Inception, and I'm gonna regret that forever. Like, I'm really sad that I didn't get to review them. But such is life sometimes. Sometimes you get overwhelmed. Sometimes you don't have time to do certain things, or you just... I have to admit, right off the bat, I didn't like the song. It went into cup of tea. No. It went into not my cup of tea. I wasn't really vibing with it, but then it is really sweet. Like, it does sound really good. It, for whatever reason, and I hope no one gets mad at me, reminds me of V's song. I don't remember the title, but he mentions the blue parrot. Of course, I would remember that detail. And BAP's softer songs like What Are You Doing, Where Are You? Looks like a black parrot. I think it's kind of a nice mix of the vibes of those two songs, which are a little bit different, but still a little bit in line with each other. So we have a happier vibe mixed with a moodier vibe. So it feels kind of bright and fluffy, despite maybe the lyric content being a little bit deeper than that. Usually it requires a very specific vibe for me to really love softer songs like this, but overall I do think it's a nice song. It took a little bit of time to warm up to it, but I do think it does a really great job at warming up to the chorus. And then my favorite part actually is Suga's verse after the chorus. But overall, it is a nice song, so it goes into second gen vibes category. Now let's talk about E-Last's Tears of Chaos. So this was very melodramatic, definitely had some second gen vibes to it. Given the whole concept they're going for, given how melodramatic it is, given the second gen vibe, I think it could have used a little bit more majesticness. I don't even know if that's a word. But yeah, I'd have to put it in not my cup of tea because this is not something that I personally vibe with. So we have another debut here from a group called BLING, and their song is called G.G.B. So the first thing I noticed was their deep voices, and I appreciated that aspect. But the other thing was the title. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be like a play on words for like a Korean word. Kind of like how CL calls her fans G.G.B. That's like a play on words. I don't know if that's the right terminology. You know, like the word G.G.B? But I digress. I'm gonna have to put this song in YG's Dungeon. Because even though I love the verses, I love the instrumentals, again, it's like in the chorus where I got a little bit lost. But on that note of like all fourth gen being the same, I'm really noticing since 2016, it really hasn't changed that a lot of music videos feature pink neon lights, like very specifically pink neon lights. Now we get to talk about NCT. So for 90s Love, I loved the theme. So I appreciate, you know, the concept innovation for sure. But sound-wise, it would have to go into not my cup of tea. And unfortunately, Work It As Well goes into not my cup of tea. Okay, so I'm gonna have to change my mind for at least 90s Love. As I was editing and trying to show an example of the song, I actually ended up really liking the sound, so I listened to it again and I do really enjoy the vibe. The pre-chorus into the chorus is actually quite perfect, and just honestly, I really ended up liking the entirety of the song, whereas before, I don't know, I just wasn't really feeling it. So I take it back, I'm actually going to give this second gen vibes, or even potentially cup of milk category. Who knows what the future holds? I think I might actually download it. overwork it. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but definitely quite interesting. Just again, not something I would particularly reach for. But I do love and appreciate Johnny's long hair more than you can imagine. Now I know NIZIU is technically J-pop, but frankly, I will review anything that whispers JYP at the beginning because we all know who keeps the lights on in here. I have to say, at first, when I was hearing these K-pop, J-pop songs, I thought they sounded a little unfinished. And then I saw this TikTok that kind of explains this. So K-pop really loves auto-tune, whereas J-pop doesn't use as much auto-tune. So you think it sounds raw in comparison to K-pop because K-pop uses a lot of auto-tune, but J-pop doesn't. So that's why it sounds the way that it sounds. I could be wrong. They could be wrong. But that's just what I heard. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And like my hypocritical ass was like, I appreciate raw vocals. And then I'm like, oh, it sounds a little raw. All that to say, I see it in a different way now, and I actually appreciate it a lot more. And I actually really like it. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping an eye out for NIZIU. This song goes into second gen vibes category. I think it's super cute, very catchy, loved the music video. We are nearing the end of this video. We are 1 hour into filming already. Now let's talk about STAYC, who I feel like kind of came out of nowhere and were like breaking records and just like literally on everyone's radar despite not knowing the company or who they are. Apparently they had a bunch of former huge producers from like SM or something. I don't even know. But it was fun to see, and their song's So Bad definitely interesting, but I'm gonna have to unfortunately put it in YG's Dungeon. So usually it's like the chorus that throws me off, but I actually loved the chorus of this song. Like even like the pre-chorus into the chorus, all very magical, all very beautiful and everything, but it was the verses that I felt didn't really match and just not really my cup of tea. However, I did take the liberty of watching one of their stages, and they seemed like they were having a lot of fun on stage, and I appreciated that. MOMOLAND's Ready or Not definitely seems like it could be part of an early 2000s movie, you know, like you could just picture an early 2000s movie and this as kind of the soundtrack. It gives those vibes for sure. And the outfits are so adorable, very much in line with this theme. However, it unfortunately goes into not my cup of tea category. I love the vibe, but it's just not something that I would personally reach for. Now you know we have to add some LOONA in here because I've been officially adopted as an Orbit. Ask any of my friends. I've been dying to join on the Orbit shenanigans. From now on, I will do the best for my girls. I have to admit, Star is one of my favorite LOONA songs. I had it on my playlist. It's just beautiful. I listened to it once and I was like, okay, it's a nice song, but I'd probably give it second gen vibes. But then I found myself kind of singing the melody, and then I realized I had seen the light. I don't know. And for this song again, I'm getting kind of these early 2000s vibes, but this is kind of what I picture as LOONA. I remember talking about LOONA a really long time ago, and I was like expecting a super moon themed concept, and I don't even know how to describe it, like very purple themed. I don't think the music video was purple themed, but I feel like the color of the song itself is purple and moon themed, and just I don't know, I loved it so much. So yes, this goes into cup of milk category. It's just been stuck in my head. It's so precious. I actually think I'm going to download it again. And I won't be accepting any counter arguments. Thank you. Kai recently had his solo debut, and by recently I mean a few hours ago. So I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was really surprised at the title because I'm like, Treasure literally had a song this same month with the exact same title, though he did add an H, but the spelling in Korean is exactly the same. And I thought to myself, like, don't you think companies would like kind of talk this stuff through? But then again, maybe SM is mad at YG for stealing their dungeon. That SM budget though, like, was amazing. I loved the universe within this music video. It was very like Elysium type thing, very like futuristic, post-apocalyptic, dystopian type of thing. I really liked it. He put some EXO shit in there, like 2012 Mama. However, I do think it sounds nice, but I would have to put it in not my cup of tea category because it's not really something that I, again, was vibing with or would really search for. But again, still a nice song, super vibey. Then we have Big Hit's new boy group, ENHYPEN, which, please, let's all gather together for all the people who had very strong urges to call us ENHYPEN. Do you ever, like, you know how to pronounce a K-pop group's name, but you're just like, I just really want to pronounce it another way? Me with so many words. Rosé. It's an issue. So I have to be honest, I don't really have the most to say about this song. Like, I wish I had more to say. Don't know. I do think it's intriguing and there's some slight second gen vibes to it. However, it's also going to have to go into not my cup of tea. Then we have GOT7 with Last Piece, which GOT7 is another group that people are accusing me of being an anti of because I don't talk about them. I swear, I literally don't really hate any groups. I can't think of Super Junior. But you know, I'm willing to admit that my beef with Super Junior is really outdated. So we have G.G.B and a mullet, which I used to be the biggest mullet anti, and then things took a really curious turn. I definitely love the sparkles in their outfits, but I have to put the song also in not my cup of tea category. Like, I definitely did like Bam Bam's first line. I think it was really nice, but for the rest of the song, it's just not something, again, that I would reach for, something that I super vibe with. And it's kind of interesting, I guess, because it's another song where I feel like it hasn't decided what kind of song it is. It starts off really soft and you're thinking it's a soft song, and then it starts going really hard, very hard hitting. Give me your breath, which in my opinion, I feel like they needed a comeback like that. You know, a comeback that is a lot more hard hitting. Not only to distinguish this song from their pre-title track, which I feel like is a little bit undistinguishable, but also to distinguish from their last comeback, which I felt was very kind of dreamy, melodramatic, a little bit majestic. But a lot of people are saying that JYP have sabotaged their comeback. Don't worry, JYP is also sabotaging Kevin's comeback. Apparently, JYP and JYB are too similar and we've been sent a cease and desist. We haven't, that's a joke, but maybe I am just too lazy to spend 3 hours editing Kevin's face onto a music video, or we could blame JYP. We're going to talk about Jamie's song, Apollo. I know, you guys should predict where this song is going to go right off the bat. Super soft song, very lovely song. It's actually Song of the Year. It's actually the only song this month that I absolutely fell head over heels with, fell super in love with, which is so out of character because this entire video I've been talking about how these softer songs really tend to not be my cup of tea. It really needs to fit like a specific vibe. This song does that. It fits a vibe that I didn't think I liked, but I do. I went into this thinking like, okay, I started listening to it and I'm like, okay, it's nice. Like, objectively, it's nice. She has a beautiful voice. It's really soft, which I was not expecting because when I think of Jamie, I think of really powerful vocals. But then like less than a minute in and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. This is absolute perfection. This is beautiful. I cannot speak highly enough of this song. Like, there are parts in the song where her voice kind of peak up, you know what I mean? And it's like I could feel my emotions peaking up at the same time. Like, it makes you feel light and fluffy inside, and it is Song of the Year. Totally unexpected, but here we are. And we've talked quite a bit on this channel about songs that don't need choreography, and I feel like the song doesn't need a choreography if she's performing it, but I've been picturing like a choreography, just like a normal dance to this song without having to sing it, do you know what I mean? It's light and fluffy too. Like, I would love to see someone dance to this song. But yeah, that is it for the review part of this channel. This video. Now, as a tradition, I always share with you my playlist for the month. Basically songs, whether or not they came out this month or not, I'm going to share with you what I've been listening to. So we have I Can't Stop Me by Twice. So Can't Stop Me was on my playlist, I think, last month. And then I took it off for a while, but then I put it back on. Love I Can't Stop Me. Then we have Missing You by 21. You know, we've left spooky weather, right? Now we're getting into like white skies and snowy, cold, dark, super depressing times in our lives. And Missing You just fits that. Missing You is the ultimate sad anthem, and this song is absolute perfection. The vocals, the music video, even just the emotions it evokes, everything, the instrumentals, it fits the vibe. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite 21 song, like hands down favorite. If you're going to listen to a 21 song, like, here's the thing, their discography is very varied, you know what I mean? But I would definitely recommend this song. So if you haven't heard it and then you listen to it because I recommended it to you, please let me know what you think. I've been on some type of Aladdin kick for whatever reason. I have no idea why, but this song, Speechless, I don't know. There was one song, I don't know if it was STAYC's song or LOONA's song Star or whatever the case may be. One of those songs reminded me of Speechless, and I've literally heard this song once in my life, and then I was kind of singing the melody and everything, and I've just been listening to it ever since. I'm yours, the money. That's enough of the free concert for the neighbors. I cannot express to you how much I love this song. This is such like a bright summer song, which I feel like balances out the rest of like the sadness in this playlist. But yeah, I definitely recommend you listen to this song. I even learned the choreography to it back in the day. Then we have Ice Cream. I know what you guys are thinking. Angelina, weren't you the biggest ice cream auntie back then? Didn't you put ice cream in YG's Dungeon where you said it frankly belonged? Yes, I did. But here's the thing. It has entirely grown on me. I don't know why. Is it just me being a blind blink? I don't know. I love singing the song. I love hearing the song. I've been listening to it like multiple times every single day. I don't know what's gotten into me. I don't know where this sudden love for it came, but it should at least be bumped to Cup of Milk. Then we have Blue Hour by TXT, which I also put in second gen vibes category, but I feel like I could at least bump it up to Cup of Milk. There's just that killing part. You're the one that I want. Then we have this song again. Does anyone remember Ozuna featuring Doja Cat and Sia? This is just a beautiful song, super, super vibey. It was on a playlist, I think, a few months back. It came back on. I don't know what it is with me and Doja Cat, but like, I had a dream about her the other day. I don't know, like, I was holding a K-pop convention. Anyways, the music video is also super intriguing. I don't like Sia's whole AI thing. I think they could have put more effort into that, but that's just me. Then we have Gotta Go by Tonga. So I downloaded this because of AT's Fever Road or something. Very triggering episode. I don't recommend watching it. But Sungwoo was dancing to Gotta Go. And not that it's the first time he's ever danced to this or that I've ever seen him dance to this. But it was the first time I saw him dance to it. And I thought to myself, I love that song. And so I downloaded it. I don't know what to do to me. Just like that. LOONA, come on, go, go. I Remember by Bang Yong-guk featuring Yosub from Beast. This was like a pre-debut song for him, like from BAP, do you know what I mean? Such a beautiful song. I was playing it in the car and my mom actually liked it, and she hates everything. We all know she's a Twice auntie. Someone save her. This song is just so beautiful, so emotional. His voice is very deep. If you like really deep voices, that's a really intriguing part of the song. And it was a collaboration with Yosub from Beast. Like, I don't know, back then it was just like, oh my goodness. I didn't know he was going to be part of BAP when the song came out. But then when we did find out, like even before BAP debuted, we found out there was going to be BAP and he was going to be in it. My friend and I ended up both biasing him. And let me tell you, it was ugly. It was not a good situation. Almost lost our friendship over it, but honestly, iconic times. Then we have VIXX, I Don't Want to Be an Idol. So for this song, I don't really know how I came about it. I don't know any VIXX title tracks. I know, what a shocker. Like, I've heard of them, but do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't sing you one off the top of my head. And this isn't a title track, so it's really interesting to me how I know this song. Like, I remember it from a while back. I just think it's really beautiful, nice vocals. Day 6 is Zombie. So for this song, I actually really loved it when it first came out, but then I didn't have Spotify at the time, so I didn't really download it. But then when I was doing my Mama video, I was reminded of it, so I downloaded it again. The message just really touches my heart, you know. I feel like I became a zombie. Promise by ATEEZ with the super fancy guitar. And then, of course, Lovesick Girls by Blackpink, which has been on this playlist for a long time now. Anyways, that is basically it for this video. Thank you guys so much if you made it to this point in this video. If you did, oh my god. Actually, if you did, comment down below. I remember, I don't know. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. You could also subscribe to this channel and click that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. You can also consider joining my channel members to get exclusive sneak peeks, Kevin emojis next to your name, even seeing videos early, and exclusive member-only videos, depending on which level you're at. These are the lovely individuals who support my channel on a monthly basis. It really means the world to me. Thank you so much. As for me, I'm gonna get going, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye!